Hello, Nomad Tribe and Team Ohana Hollow. We are so excited to have you here today. In just a little bit, we will have a special guest joining us today. But right now, I want to hear everybody's win for the week because we are almost at the end of the month, or maybe your win for the month. Maybe there's something you've been working toward. What is a win that you can share with us here?
We are paid at title for the first time in almost a year.
Yay! Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. My team is killing it this month. Like, I'm really proud of them.
I love that. Fantastic. Cool. What else is a win for you guys? Cynthia in the comments said being consistent with tracking and follow up. Love it.
I got a sale this month and I have a Scentsy club for next month. So
Yay! Congratulations, Joey. That's super exciting.
small win, but it's something.
That's a big win. In the comments, Kayla said she hit her 2K. Way to go, securing that solid 5% bonus, right? That minimum $600 paycheck in US. Michelle is one order away from 3,000 PRV. That's very exciting. Are you going to get it? Do you have something lined up?
I have been trying since yesterday to get it. I think I'm pretty tapped out, but I'm not quitting.
You're not quitting. No, but this is a rest. Just take a pause for a minute. You got this. Awesome. Brooklyn, what do you want to share with us? Your cute face is ready.
Oh, is it? Let's see. It's coming up in the end of the month, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more potentials that I'm like trying really, really hard to be able to get them to come on for like all different reasons. And I very much personalized it individually to each of them. So that was a huge thing in case nobody has done that before. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 club cards that have just not been finalized. And then I got back into my group, my team group, and like even though the people that are in there are not any of those people that I was just talking about, all of the other ones would be new ones. I'm trying to get a couple of them to also come back on because it's free for them anyways. So I started getting back into my group again and like really just kind of, well, this is what we're going to go over today. And I'm doing an update from the state and I pull a lot of from all of the different groups, including Nomad. So a lot of that has just been kind of reiterated information, but from me to them.
Well, that's fantastic.
And I started another training program. Like I'm a freaking psycho, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, like you do. If you want to invite them as guests on Nomad too, so they can kind of see how we roll, feel free to invite them as guests.
I've actually tried to do that, and I'm gonna have to message you about that because one in particular who I did already, she did already join on her own. I've had a really big issue with, and I don't know if anybody else has, but like all of her invites are automatically coming back declined, like from every group, and it's so weird. And I was like, "Are you answering all the questions?" Yeah, so we can talk out. I'll talk at you later about that one.
We'll figure that out. Cool. Well, does anybody else have a fun win or a celebration for the week or the month that they want to share with us? And you can do it in the comments too, in the little chat box. That's totally fine. Cool. Well, without further ado then, if you want, just feel free to interrupt me. I wanted to welcome my friend Lyndsee Bates. She is an incredible human being. She's super fun and like, I don't know, a little spontaneous. I love her vibe, and I'm so excited that she is here to share some wisdom with us about following up and like why it's important, why it's a big deal. And if you don't know who Lyndsee is, just introduce yourself to her next time at reunion. She's like super rad.
You're so cute. Thanks so much for having me. How's everybody doing today? Everybody's got their screens up. Only a couple friends.
I know. Show your face if you are brave.
It's good. I am excited to be here with you to share with you just a few tips about follow-up. So I've been with Scentsy for 17 years. I have been through lots of ups and downs in businesses. I've been in the burnout. I've been in the high, like, hyper growth momentum, and all of it. And when Ariel asked me, I didn't say that right, did I? Ariel, is that right?
Area, you're right. You were
Ariel,
right.
okay, I feel like I had it wrong. So, when she asked me to talk about follow-up, I thought, gosh, I've had and tried every system in the book. And some have been great and some have not been great. But the only reason they haven't been great is because I wasn't consistent. So if you take away nothing from this call other than the idea of it doesn't matter what you do, it just matters that you do it. That's all you need to know. Okay. So I'm going to share a few different ways that I have done it and been successful at times. And I'll share what I'm currently doing because it always ebbs and flows. There's times where I feel like I'm really good at it and times that I'm like, okay, I suck like terribly. So Amy was a huge asset for me when we had Amy, but as we know, it's no longer a thing. So we're all kind of having to find and figure out what is going to work for us now. I loved Amy because it just prompted me to text and I could just write a new text every time. I hated the automated like robot type lingo. So that's one thing that I try really hard to do is to be really authentic to myself and just talk like I'm talking to them in person. Oftentimes just grabbing your phone and doing a text memo is great, like talk to text, because then it's natural and it's the flow versus typing. I feel like I can be a little bit different when I type than when I talk. So try to make it as you possibly can. So a couple things. So Hit 'em Up was a huge thing for me for quite some time. I loved Hit 'em Up. It's an app, you have to pay for it. So that's kind of annoying. But that was my text communication before Amy became a thing. Then I did Amy really good. I've done the folder where I make sure I print out or I have all the receipts, and I've done the folder where I put it in, okay, in 1 week, I'm going to contact this person. In a month, I'm going to talk the 111 or the 222, whatever you choose to do, right? And that was really great. The one thing that I am 100% consistent on is the thank yous of follow-up. I might not text you the day you're going to get your shipment and be like, hey, I'm so excited for you to get your stuff. I'm not always on that A game. There are some people that are my VIPs that I make sure that I'm aware. And that goes into classifying your customers, right? Into your VIP customers, your occasional customers, your every 6 months-ish customers, and then your yearly customers. Just having them in different buckets so you know how to cater to them. But consistently every month after people have ordered, and I do this only for people that order on my PWS, whether it's a party or just a PWS order or Scentsy Club, everybody's going to get Happy Mail the next month. I know a lot of people that say, oh, I'll keep them on my list for 3 months if they order. I don't know how to keep track of that. Like that to me, I'm just like, what if I see they order, but then what if they order from me and I forget to put it in the report? Like there's too many like what ifs in that scenario for me. So I just blanket, if they ordered in the previous month, they get Happy Mail from me. And it oftentimes spurs another order from them. I have probably about 15 to 20 customers that order every month because I send them different things every month. Depending on the size of the order will determine what they get. I always send some sort of product, whether it be a sample, a scent circle. If they are like my Scentsy clubbers that do quite a bit, like I'll even do a mini fan with a pod, and then I'll send them pods a few months later. So I've recently discovered, and I don't know who I got it from. I went down the rabbit hole of customer follow-ups, and I got this Google document that has just all the information. I'm really good about my online orders. I'm not so great about the customers that come over and order something from me. I give them a goodie when they leave, but there's never like a follow-up thank you the next month. And so this is my new system that I've been using for a month now to get like, make sure I have everything in this Google Sheet, so that I can make sure all the customers that are coming to my house or that are texting me for an order, that I'm giving them a thank you a month later, like I do my online orders. So let's see, can I share my screen? Is that possible? Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna share my screen with you for a minute. Can you see it? Yeah, okay. So right here, it shows the last purchase date. So it has the purchase date. Then it has, are you friends on social media? Are they in your VIP group? And then it has their names, and then has their numbers, their address, city, state, zip, email, and then contact. So this is like, did they shop online? Did they text you? Did they email? Facebook? How are you communicating with them, basically? I'm not sure what this do column is. I haven't quite figured that out, but I will. That's someone else's design, right? They had a purpose, and I don't know what that purpose was. So then this one is cool. I really like this product. You can't have check boxes in this type of format in Google Sheets. So basically, if you have a bundle that people typically buy, you could put it in here, like warmers and bars. That's a typical thing, right? Warmer period, wax period, diffuser and oils, pods, mini fan pods. I would even edit that to be just fan and pods. And you can specify what they bought. Then in my notes, I put, it was a .com order. It was a one-on-one. So like one-on-one, me to them. .com party. If it's club, it's club. One-on-one and .com. So you just kind of add the extra things. And I haven't quite figured this part out of it, but I really like knowing like how many times a customer orders in a month. Because if a customer is ordering multiple times, that's a sign, right? Like this Buff Bates, that's my mother-in-law. I know she's not going to join Scentsy. She ordered on my .com and her Scentsy club went through. Like, so that's, for me, that's good to know. But if you have someone else like this Trisha Hughes, she's one of my long time customers. She did a one-on-one and she did a .com order. So like, I know she's not someone that I'm going to try and sponsor or to get to do a party currently. But if you have someone that is like contacting you one-on-one and ordering on your website, definitely hit them up for the party. Definitely hit them up for the join or Scentsy Club, you name it, right? So then this is probably my favorite feature of this spreadsheet. So each month, and you can line these up however you want. So January, February, March, April, May, June. I just started this in September. I got it last month and I was like too daunting to do last month. So I'm like, I'm just doing this month. So you can add, this is the PRV from that order. And then basically I take from whatever their order was and I just put it in here. So I know she got the blackberry and spice, polar bear hug, very snowy spruce, cashmere and corduroy, midnight mahogany, and pink leather. Oftentimes I'll have people come back and be like, oh, what did I order? And I'm the worst. Like on my sheets, I'm like 6 bars. That's it. I don't write down what bars they got. Like I don't, but I'm being better about doing that because I want to know what they're ordering. So like they can say, hey, I ordered this like purplish bar in my last order. And so I can look, oh, there's blackberry spice. No. Oh, there was black raspberry vanilla. One of those two is most likely the scent. What did it smell like? And then you can kind of narrow it down to help them figure it out. So then, so that's September. So once I move into October, there's going to be more of these squares filled in October. And it might be these people for a second time, and it might be new people for a first time as the tracker starts. So you'll just add what they put in to how you add that. So you would just put in like $30, right? And then you right click and you insert a note. So then you would write what scents they are. So that's how you do that in the Google Sheet. So that's all of these are just notes within that cell. So for example, let's see. Trisha had ordered online, my mother-in-law, here's my mother-in-law. So I can see she did the .com and club. So her .com was Tom the Turkey. And I just manually entered that. I didn't put the PRV. You can kind of see the difference where this is her club order. It has all of the details from like quantity, the price, the PRV, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of how that works. And then I don't know what this off is. Oh, offered opportunity. So you can say if they're a previous consultant, they joined, no, yes. So you can kind of keep track of if you've offered the opportunity. Also talking about the party, you could also include that. Then the notes I have, like, I wrote one of these ladies, she was referred to me by a customer. And so I wrote the notes like she's a coworker of this person. So that's kind of how I am using it. It's working so far because I feel way more organized in knowing who all ordered from me last month. The customer database in the workstation can be great, but also can be really tricky. So this is a great way for me to be like, okay, I'm just going to email all of my customers that ordered last month a little thank you, maybe even send a Starbucks gift card. I've got $100 on the Starbucks gift card. Go grab your coffee on me until it runs out. Like, there's lots of little things that you can do to show appreciation to your customers in that space. But I find the most valuable thing is when they've ordered, whether it be online or in person, a few days later, even if it's a week later, just sending them a text and being like, I'm so grateful for your order. Thank you so much for supporting my small business. Just want to check in and see how you're enjoying your new product. Treating your customers like you would want to be treated if you ordered from someone is like key. I know a lot of times, I mean, I've ordered from other direct sell companies and I have what I would call annoying consultant that just like keeps messaging me all the time about this and that. And it's like, I'll let you know if I want something, right? So you have to think about different scenarios where you've been in contact with direct sell consultants and what did you like about how they treated you? What didn't you like? Because then you don't want to recreate what you didn't like. Because like, I'm not going to message you every week and be like, oh my gosh, I hope you're loving this. I hope you're loving that, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just want to buy what I want to buy when I want to buy it and be left alone as a customer of X company, right? Now, it's different because that's a one-time purchase. Like, I don't need to keep replenishing those things. So it's different in that sense. So you have to understand that as a consultant, reaching out to your customers consistently, whether they're in the consultant newsletter that you're sending out, it's not that Scentsy sends out for us, whether they're in that or whether you've got your own thing that you do, where you maybe do in Mad Mini or you use Campaign Monitor or what's the monkey one? I can't think of it. MailChimp. Whatever you use, like you might have your own system that you use, but you just have to do it. Another system that people oftentimes love, Project Broadcast. Do any of you use that? Yeah. I don't use it for my customers yet. I just use it for my team and my downline, and I have this system that's in place. It's working really great, and I'm trying to build on it and to learn more and to like grow into this new space within Project Broadcast. And I just haven't stepped into my customers because I feel like what I'm doing is working. So I don't feel like I need to add something different. I find great power in texting them one-on-one. That is huge. Now Project Broadcast makes that really, really easy. It's just type it up, add them to this tab or tag, and off it goes, right? But it does take some setup to get your customers to realize like, oh, she got a new number. Oh, it's her business line, right? So you kind of have to figure out what works for you and what is going to be something that you're going to be able to keep up with. The folder where I would put my order forms in and move it along as the days went on, it just wasn't great. I got really lazy and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do a week at a time and just like move the whole week over to the next week. And it wasn't good for me. But if it's good for you and you do it consistently, then that's great. That's the whole thing with follow-up. Your follow-up system is only as good as you use it. So if you don't use it, get rid of it, try something new. And if that works great, stick with it. But if you get complacent and you stop using it, stop implementing or stop doing things with it, then it's time to push it aside and get a new program, something to figure out that's going to help you actually do it. So I think that understanding the importance of how you follow up, identifying how you follow up. How do I want to follow up? So think about how you want to follow up. I want to text, I want to email, I want to post on my VIP group. So how is really important, understanding how you want to follow up. And then what are you going to follow up as? What is going to be the thing that you do when you follow up? Am I going to send a newsletter? Well, I already do the Scentsy one, so that's checked off, right? Am I going to text maybe the warmer and scent of the month little mailer that I have? Am I going to mail something? Am I going to mail a sample for next month's scent of the month? So the what is also important. We all know the why. The why is so that we can build those relationships with our customers, so we can keep generating income and sales through our customers and hopefully build referrals and parties and potential consultants. The what category is probably my favorite. That's where you can get the most creative as you want. If you're a crafty person, you can do all kinds of fun crafty things. If you're not a crafty person, you can make it super simple, text an image, call it good, and get it done. But the amount of what's are endless. I mean, looking in your workstation and seeing what's coming, right? Like you could follow up and be like, oh my gosh, I saw this new special. We have these bricks that are coming this fall for the holiday season. And I think you love this scent, and I think you would really love this scent. So making sure you use what you know about these customers and what they like and what they typically order, use it to your advantage to then share and push something that is coming. That's really, really important.
So knowing your customer, do you then utilize those reports that we have in the workstation?
Yes. So I was just going to move to that. So this week, and I apologize, I have the worst memory. The skull warmer that just came out, with the horns, what's it called?
Open Plains.
Open Plains. So someone shared this really amazing idea about going into your customer database and looking up people that have ordered the following. Weathered leather. If they've ordered weathered leather, they're country people most likely. So communicating with those customers that have done that. If they've ordered any like Western warmer, like Wild West or Rustic Ranch, Wrangler, the rodeo cowboy boots, mossy oak, the antlers currently. Think about like style and design. Sheer leather is also a scent that we have that's like a leathery scent that people that like that type of vibe, those would be the ones that you would want to see. Okay, who in my customer database has ordered these scents before? Okay, these are the people. Okay, now what am I going to send them? I'm going to send them the Open Plains little thing that we have going on right now. And just say, like, I know you love your weathered leather. I don't know. Do you guys sell a lot of weathered leather?
No, we're not in Texas.
I'm in Texas. So
well, maybe some of these people are. I'm not.
Yeah. Or sheer leather, or like even like the woodsy type scents. Those people, you can say, oh my gosh, I know you really like, I don't know, white amber antique, or you've ordered that before. this warmer gives me that vibe. Like it makes me think of that scent when I look at this warmer, and I just wanted to share that with you and see if you would be interested in purchasing it, right? Super simple. Make a reply, oh my gosh, thanks for thinking of me. And it's definitely not my style. Or yeah, I would totally love that warmer. It's so cool. I would love it for my cabin or whatever. So getting creative in target marketing, that's what that's called, where you find a target audience that you want to connect with and you market specifically to that audience. So you're not doing a broad, here's a new warmer, right? Like the general population, probably they aren't going to like that warmer. It's definitely a specific group of people that you should be able to identify through what they have done in the past with ordering, what scents they've ordered, what warmers they've ordered, and that type of thing. So same thing with our holiday bricks that are coming out. So candy apple, so that's like a candy apple scent. So you could, anybody that's ordered baked apple pie, boom, right there. That's going to be probably your best bet connecting. Cozy kitchen, anybody that's ordered cozy cardigan, right? Forever flannel, you could use the flannel fleece we had, wasn't it flannel fleece? Fluffy fleece. You could, like, you can find scents that are similar through the descriptions, like holly jolly cider, cider mill, cinnamon cider or cedar cider. Those two, like everybody loves those two ciders. So hit all of those people up to see if they want a holly jolly cider brick. Orange spice, you've got spiced orange harvest, any of the orange, like pumpkin, any pumpkins, farm stand pumpkin, or what's the other spicy, like cloven cinnamon even. So just thinking about scents that are compatible or comparable to the bricks that are coming out, that's how you can target market those customers and follow up with them. Now, it's important to know that you don't want to be spamming them all the time. I don't use my VIP group very much because I feel like people receive it better when it's like a personal invitation, where it's a personal connection with them. So be mindful of that, right? Even thinking about our bring back my washer whiffs, you can run a report of everybody that has ever ordered those different scents. And you can see who would want that. That's where this, in my new customer tracking thing, where I've listed the scents, I can just search the whole document and it'll pull up every line that has a customer that ordered the specific scent. And then I can just follow up with those people on the list. Just go down the list and call it good. So hopefully that gives you some ideas around following up and just knowing that, you know, the system is only as good as it is implemented. And if you're not using it, get rid of it, try something new, and don't be afraid to try something new, because something is going to stick and something's going to work, and it's going to be really easy for you to do, and you're going to actually do it. And that's the system that you want to stick with, whatever that looks like. So any questions? I don't know how long you guys go.
Oh, we usually have like 15 more minutes. But I love the analogy that if it's going to work if you stick with it, if you use it. And it's much like every year I am hopeful in buying a new planner. Every year I buy a new planner. And this year I am telling myself no, because I used it for January and August, and I have forgotten it every other month. Because a physical planner is not for me. I used to use that mini binder system too, and it worked really well for probably 2 or 3 solid months. And then I stopped using it because I didn't like it. And so it didn't work anymore. So it's a really good reminder that it's okay to let things go if they don't work, if they're not serving you.
Totally.
Totally fine. And don't feel guilty about like, okay, I'm throwing that planner away, mostly unused, and it's a lesson learned, and it's literally money in the garbage. But I am not going to do that to myself again this year.
You got to find a new system, and
Yeah.
you got to use that system and see if you can do it longer than 2 months, right?
Right. 2 sporadic months, mind
I
you.
love buying, I mean, I just bought the new next year's planner and I'm like, oh, it looks so cool, right? But like when it comes down to it, I'm not going to use it because I'm a Google Calendar. I do my time blocking on my Google Calendar and it's like the most amazing thing. Like I'll show you. Let me show you my Google Calendar real quick.
I love the idea of time blocking.
So this is it. This is my Google Calendar. And I don't put everything in it, but I have all the calls and all the things that are most important, right?
Mhm.
And then I have my days that I do my certain things but this is like the most important things that I need to do are on here. Now and kids stuff is all on here too. So you're seeing all the kids stuff and whatnot, but it's really important to just make sure that you are setting aside the time to do the things you need to do. Like follow-up Friday. Every Friday morning after my workout class, I come in my office and I do my follow-up for an hour. If it takes longer, I do it as long as it takes. If it takes less, I'm good. I got off the hook easy today.
Yeah.
So making a system of when you're going to do it, that was the one word we didn't get to, the when. When is really, really important. The who, what, and where, definitely, but the when is also just as important, and keeping a system of doing it consistently, for sure.
And that's the biggest thing, is just that consistency and the discipline, even when you don't want to do it. Because I know I've been there. Like I am presently there. I don't want to do the things. Like this week is just, it's a week I don't want to do it. I know I have to. And so I know I'm gonna have to force myself to do it. But I was listening to something the other day where I think it was the Brotherly Love podcast. I don't know if you guys ever watched Brotherly Love or the Lawrence brothers growing up, but they have a podcast now and it's amazing. And one of them brought up this quote, and I'm pretty sure they said it was a Mike Tyson quote, but it's essentially discipline is doing something that you hate until you love it.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know, Google Mike Tyson quote about that if you want, but it just spoke to me. It's like, well, you're not wrong. And it's not that I don't like talking to my customers. It's that frog that feels daunting to me for some reason. It's like, well, and then I get up in my head about it. I spin out like, well, what if they don't want to hear from me? They've signed up for my text messages because I send a weekly customer text. And I asked them, just like I asked my team, how do you want to hear from me? And so the ones that I'm sending the text, they said they wanted to hear from me, but I have this hang up about, but what if they change their mind? They'll let me know. They'll tell me to stop.
For sure. But I also love that you have to eat that frog. Like there's this book, right? Eat the Frog. I don't know if that's the right title, but it's really great. And then it helps you understand the big things that you need to do. If you just do them first, you're going to feel so much better. Like just get it done, then it's done. And you don't have to worry about it till next week or whenever you're going to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So that was a lot about following up with your customers. Do you implement the same kind of thing when it comes to your team as well?
a little bit. Team is a little different. I used to do postcards. I did that for like over a decade. Like I was so diligent and so good. And then one day I just decided, you know what? I'm done with it. Like I don't get any feedback. I don't hear from people. Am I really connecting as in the way that I want to connect with my downline? So I stopped doing it and I started doing text recognition. This is where Campaign Monitor was introduced to me. And I started texting them images like, congrats on being the top 10 in our team. Congrats on being in the top 50 in our group. Different things like that. I know a lot of people do email recognition that way. I just find that it's one more touch point texting that I can get to them, and then they can, when they have questions, when they arise, they're going to know who to contact. They're going to have my number and they're going to be able to just easily respond or ask a question because it happens all the time. So I do all my recognition that way. But mostly for my team and my group, I have a combined group with my directors, and we have a Facebook group that we share constantly on. I've oftentimes thought of getting rid of it and just texting everybody the things that I would be posting. But I think there's power in community when you have a platform to allow them to interact with each other. So I opted to just continue to have it so that the connections can be made, the communication and the idea sharing that really can happen in a group setting for those that actually participate, right? So as far as that goes, like sharing news articles and sharing PRV tips, try to do something every day with them. So if you have a team, maybe a smaller team of maybe 20 or 10 consultants in your downline, using, I don't know if you guys do it all together. You guys just have one big group, do you?
I have my group and Maggie has her group.
Yeah. So using the groups that are there to build on what they're doing is perfect. Like you don't need to go create your own new group. You've got a place where you all belong, and using that platform, sharing your ideas, shouting your people out, highlighting different tips and things that are being shared that you're getting from other sources and sharing them there only helps you to become a better leader. Because a lot of times we think, oh, it's not good enough. It's not like Ariel approved, right? Like that's not the case. Like anything and everything is welcome, because if I say it one way and Sally says it another way, they're going to hear it from Sally and not from me, right? Isn't that true? Like even with kids, raising kids, like I might tell my kid the same thing over and over, but then the neighbor comes over and she's like, oh yeah, you could try it this way. And it's like the exact same thing I said, but because they said it, they actually like listen and receive it. So think of it in that aspect where you are sharing to bring just information to other people or ideas or tips, and then it helps them because they hear it differently from different people.
Yes. I was telling that to somebody the other day. It's almost like, you know, I'm mom, right? And we don't always hear what mom says, but if somebody else says it, they're like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. When mom's been like a week, but it's just, it's the difference in how it's presented and maybe where you're hearing it from. What place are you in personally that you're taking in the information from? That's a really big key part of it too. So yeah,
it makes all the difference for sure.
Yeah. And I know I can speak for Maggie's group too. Like everything that you want to share, it's absolutely always welcome. Whether you've created an awesome new flyer or you found something that worked well with your VIPs, absolutely share it, because you never know what can help somebody else. So yeah, awesome reminder. Thank you, Lyndsee.
Wow, for sure.
Do you guys have any other questions for Lyndsee? I really appreciate your time. I have tried, I think, every single follow-up system that you said. And I have my own version of that Google sheet, but it's not as interactive. Do you have a template for that?
I mean, I could share this one and then you can use it.
Yeah, I can figure out how to make a template so that we can, you know, not have all the the info. But I feel like I've seen one like that and I had intentions of using it, but
I'm trying to think where I got it. I'll see if I can find the template that I got it from and send it to you for sure.
Awesome. Because I'm becoming more of a digital person too, especially on Google Sheets. And it's just because it's always available.
It's always available. Yeah. Makes it so convenient to just pop it in and share it and call it good.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Lyndsee, thank you so much for your time. I don't see any questions coming through in the chat, but if there's any that pop up afterward, I will ask you the questions and report back the answers.
Oh, sounds good.
Thank you for your time, you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a rad rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.